Kia ora everyone, welcome to the final in our series of uLearn Live at Lunch. With us today we have a panel of three, and we possibly might be having more guests popping in to talk to us about what's happening for them at uLearn next week. Great you could join us for our session today. I'm Tara Fagan, I'm a facilitator with Core Education. I'm based here in Wellington, and I'm really looking forward to attending uLearn next week. I'm now going to ask the panel today to introduce themselves, so I'll hand over to you, Jo, to introduce yourself, and then we'll go to Stephen.
Kia ora Tara, kia ora koutou, it's Jo Robson from the Auckland branch of Core Education. Very excited to be here this afternoon, and hope you're all enjoying your lunch as we have a kōrero. I joined Core in January straight from the classroom, and am working in the Future Focused Education team as a facilitator with Mark Osborne and Andrew Cowie, and we're working with schools to transform their practice and work with them to celebrate their context. Kia ora Sarah, welcome.
Kia ora.
Kia ora Sarah, we're just doing a round of introductions, so it'd be great if you could introduce yourself, perhaps let us know whereabouts in the country you're from, and then we'll go to Stephen.
Awesome. So, kia ora koutou. I'm Sarah Whiting, and I am based in Christchurch. I work for the Core office there, doing a bit of LDT work, which was learning with digital technologies, also in the power space with Jo, and enable courses. So here, there, and everywhere. And excited about uLearn next week.
And over to you, Stephen, if you'd like to introduce yourself, that would be great.
Hello, I'm Stephen Lowe. I lead the learning design team at Core Education, a small team for very talented and innovative young learning designers. And we are so into our customer experience, user experience, and universal design for learning, and so excited by that. We're about to pop, and we're going to be at uLearn, and it's going to be a great experience. See you there.
Great, thanks everyone, and we're looking forward to having you at uLearn. So it'll be great to hear a little bit more about what you're presenting at uLearn. So, Jo, I'm going to come to you and ask you to talk about what you're going to be presenting during your time at uLearn.
Fantastic, thank you. Very, very excited to be attending uLearn this year. And so the session that I am offering is a practitioner's perspective, empowering learners, educators, and leaders. So I guess really for me it's about the expertise in the room, sharing and practical things that we can take back into our classrooms and apply to ensure that our learners are being fed and driven to a future-focused in future-focused ways, as well as our teachers and leaders. So very hands-on approach, and it's a work in progress. So I've got a Padlet set up so that people can, share where they're at with their prior knowledge, what they're wanting to get out of the session, and yeah, really to listen to each other, connect, make those personal connections and practical ideas. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Jo. And we'll be sharing that link, that Padlet link that Jo mentioned about her workshop, out on Twitter following this session. So keep an eye out for that, and that'll be coming your way. Sarah, over to you now to talk a little bit about what you'll be doing at uLearn.
In true Sarah Whiting style, I've got multi-hats on at uLearn. So I've got two presentations to share with you guys, workshops and just general let's get down to business. So the first one is around the power of collaboration, and I'm doing this with Angela Vermeulen and Fiona White, and we're talking about how we can make collaboration happen both for teachers and for students, and we're talking about going right back to basics in terms of the scaffolding, the systems, the processes, but also what it looks like and the action in place. The other thing that I'm also delving into is using the hacker philosophy in schooling. So there's a whole hack schooling movement out there that's generally with kids being taken out of school. And what I want to do is to encourage people to use that mentality to bring those kids back into school, and to bring the learning back to the hub where we know it should be. And finally, my other hat when I'm at uLearn will be in my core teal fairy wings as a connected educator support crew, and so I'll be there to help you whenever you need it. So come and see us in our Connected Educator Lounge and look out for the wings.
Thanks, Sarah, and can't wait to see those wings in action as well as hear those presentations. Sound fabulous, particularly both around the collaboration and the hack schooling. And we'll talk a little bit more about the Connected Educator stand at the end of the session, so just a little taste of what's to come. Stephen, over to you to talk about the work that you'll be doing while at uLearn.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to be presenting, well, not presenting, running workshops in 2 sessions, a short accelerated version of what I'm doing and a longer half-day session, and both are based around the same sorts of ideas. The alternate RGEF, the alternate reality games in education framework, which is more like a tool, more like a prototype at the moment, and we're going to workshop that together, the framework, and also try and see if we can fit into this framework the research projects in the games area that you yourselves may be engaged in, and we can. This is an early time of development for this framework, and we can massage it to try and fit as many. To be as versatile as possible for all the different types of games projects we're expecting to hear about from you. From my own perspective, I have a model for my own professional development of ARF, which is sort of pirate talk, ARF, or aggregation, A for aggregation, R for remix, R for repurpose, and F for feed forward. And what I've been doing is I've taken 4 books, 2 on learning design, 2 on games design. I've smashed those 4 books together, and out of that has dropped the RGEF framework. And what we're going to do is we're going to play an analog game, play an analog mission. I won't tell you more now, otherwise you won't need to come. And then we'll build the tool, the actual RGEF tool, which is great fun because we build it as a physical model in the room, and then we'll create a game that we can run through that framework, and then we'll play that game as if we didn't know what it was, pretending we didn't make it, and we'll switch role to player, and we'll play the game, and then we'll workshop how we might be able to augment that with the tech that is available in schools to teachers on low and realistic budgets. That's what we'll do towards the end before our final reflection, and I'm just so excited, and I'm so looking forward to it. I find these sessions are high energy, and I learn as much as I transmit to other people. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Kia ora, thanks, Stephen. Joe's just reminded me your session is on session 1 on Wednesday. Fantastic. I'm intrigued already and look forward to seeing what you can come up with. In fact, I think I'm going to have to be in the room for that.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It certainly sounds like it is. I'm going to be presenting a session in the Permission to Play Day, a 3-hour session on future of learning. So looking at things like robotics, coding, what they can offer to education, and the reason why they're so important for us to be able to look at, as well as give you the opportunity to be able to explore and just engage with some of the robots that I've got, some of the coding applications I've got, and some tools like Google Glasses and different things like that, and some augmented reality apps. So come along to that session. It's bound to be lots of fun and a hands-on workshop. During uLearn, I'm involved in a couple of other workshops. I have one on digital badges and how we can use them in the classroom to motivate and really showcase students' learning, both academically as well as all the holistic learning that happens for students. So that's a half-hour taster. And on, I think it's on the Thursday, the Connected Educator team, one of which Shira is, we are running a Twitter how-to taster session, so half an hour of coming along and getting some social media goodness, learning a little bit about what Twitter is, how you can help it, how you can use it to support your own professional learning programs in a way which, for those of you that have been tuning in with Connected Educator, will have seen over the 4 days that Connected Educator has been running so far. So that's a little bit about what we're presenting. Now I'm keen to know a little bit about what you're passionate about in terms of education. So I'm just going to throw that question out there, and I'll let whoever would like to grab that come on out and just answer that. So what are you currently passionate about in education?
I'll jump in there, Tara. So education for me is all about our learners. So for me, the learners come before everything else. Just regardless of their age and their stage, learners are at the forefront. So my passion is around learner agency, in particular ensuring that every voice counts. And coming from a junior school, junior end of a school, my part of that passion is knowing that 5-year-olds can do things and do things. So please be encourage them to go with the why and ask lots of questions. Don't dumb it down for them. They know what's right. So my passion does go back to the learner, and also inside of that is knowing that the future focused education is really strong in New Zealand, and what I would really love for that to be is to be nationwide with lots of learning hubs, lots of connected learners, and just giving it so that everybody has that possibility and option.
Fantastic. Hey, my passion's about my passion, I think, focuses around really risky lesson plans, and then subjecting that lesson plan, exposing that lesson plan to the learners, and watching it get absolutely trashed. I said, I love that. I think that's great, and I think that's going to be the model for my sessions. I really do. Yes. With whatever happens, it'll probably be nothing like I thought it was going to be.
Awesome. And Stevie, on that, that's probably why we get on so well. I love, passionate about that risk taking in a culture where it is okay. We may not get it right the first time or the second, perhaps not even the third, but it's a journey. And so I'm passionate about taking those risks. The other passion is these kids, my own children. So as a mum, I want to empower teachers and leaders to ensure that my team, my whānau, have a really good opportunity to get the most out of school, both inside and outside the classroom. So I guess for me, it's about all of why we're here, and really empowering and sharing the love. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Awesome. Love hearing about your passions and finding out a little bit more about you. And just on that, and the notion of risk taking, and that, it made me think that learning's never learning is messy. It's never a tidy way. Real learning comes out of the messiness that happens as we unpack things. And I just want to pick up on something that Joe talked about in terms of about engagement and getting children, excited about learning. I attended a Tamatutama Ora session, a webinar today that was part of Connected Educator, that was all about supporting boys in education and getting them engaged and looking at ways that we can really support their learning. So if you didn't get the chance to go to that, really great to be able to go back to the Connected Educator archives and watch that, because really worthwhile session and some great strategies in there. So just as we start to wind up, I've got one final question for the panel. And just whoever wants to pick this up can do. For those of you that are connected educators, why do you love having a professional learning network, and what do you get from being connected?
I'll jump in first. And so the things that I love about being a connected educator is the feeling of not being alone. Often when you are the keen bean in your school, and you're wanting to try things, and people are rolling their eyes, perhaps saying, oh, you've been there, done that, tried that, didn't work. Whereas with your connected PLN. You have got like-minded people. You've got people willing to take chances and share their experiences, the good and the bad and the ugly, and that together we're so much stronger. So o kaha, kia kaha, being empowered together.
Yeah, thanks, Jo. And I'm just going to add to that, because for me, everything that you said, but it's about being able to tap into your own interests online. And for me, it's the place I first go to for professional learning, see who's out there, who's doing what, and just loving it. And being able to connect into events that are happening that I may not be part of. So, for example, if you're not part of uLearn, there's ways that you can tap into that. And at the moment, I'm sitting here, or have been sitting here, watching some feed from an early childhood convention that's happening in Rotorua. I'm not there, but I'm able to get a sense of the messages and that's coming through from people tweeting out from that conference. So really valuable way for me to be able to enhance my own understanding and, as you say, equity in being able to participate in events that are happening around me.
And I agree completely with you, Tara. I think for teachers in particular, we have a severe case of FOMO, fear of missing out, and we like to know what's going on around the world. So being a connected educator allows you to do that, but at your own pace. So you can be exposed to as much or as little as you want to be. You can reach out and connect people across the world, and like Jo said, tap into some expertise around the world, but also connect around similarities. And I know that I've made connections through such things as online forums or discussions with people, or simple stalking of TEDx talks, and tapping into that. So you have to be willing to actually put yourself out there a little bit, but in a safe way, because everybody's out there to share information, and that's the great thing about teaching, is we've got this wealth of knowledge and we want to share it with everybody else. So Connected Educator and the month that we have around that is a great way to make that happen, with lots of things going on. So do reach out and share your love with us.
Thanks, Sarah. Now, Stephen, I've got a bit of a question from you, and you hinted at it a little bit earlier, but for those people who may be attending uLearn, will they see you in disguise playing some sort of undercover game during the uLearn taking place?
Yes, I think only those people who are attuned to cooperative pervasive gaming will even realize that there is a game going on. It's like a subplot, like a reading between the lines, like under the radar, and a lot of people won't even know it's happening. But those who do will be the chosen few. Yes, cooperative pervasive game going on under the radar. Tune in.
I'll certainly be tuning in. I'm really looking forward to that. Just as an aside, earlier this year, Stephen introduced me to a game called Ingress, an online gaming that happens in real time, and I'm probably not doing it any justice by explaining it this way, but I'm certainly very, very hooked and very competitive in that world. So hopefully, along with the cooperative game Stephen's got going on at uLearn, hopefully there'll be a little bit of spotting of time for some Ingress team bonding as well as together. I'm sure there'll certainly be lots of portals up in Auckland for us to explore. Now, we're coming to the end of our session. We're winding up. I can see from the Twitter feed there has been some, we've got some followers online, and people definitely agreeing with the comments that we've had around being connected educators. Just on that session, or that notion of connected educators, if you are coming to uLearn, we have a connected educator stand on level 5 where you'll see Sarah, myself, and a full team of people ready to support you with your social media queries and help not only get you connected, but connecting you with people of very similar interests to what you have, so that you can grow your own personal learning network and to come and share your expertise with us as well. So that's on level 5. You'll see us there. You won't be able to miss our stand, and you certainly won't be able to miss Sarah with the blue fairy wings, which I'm looking forward to seeing. So that's on level 5. For those of you that aren't at uLearn, we have a series of events that we'll be bringing you live. So we are live streaming each of the one talk from each of the breakouts. So you'll get 6 sessions live streamed to you. They're all on the Connected Educator site, and we'll be tweeting them out. Along with that, the Twitter feed tends to grow fairly heavily through uLearn, so you'll be able to connect with people, with documents, with the keynotes, through using Twitter and other forms of social media. So if you're not at uLearn, there are definitely ways you can come in and contribute and be part of the discussions. We'd certainly love to hear your thoughts. And finally, if you are coming to uLearn, don't forget to download the Show Gizmo app. You will have received an email about that. You can access it on the web, on your mobile devices, whatever kind, but you're able to get those, and that brings your program directly to you on your device, and it gives you excuse me, the opportunity to be able to engage with the presenters as well. So this is the final in the series of uLearn Live at Lunch. We've really enjoyed bringing them to you. I really want to thank our panels, both today's but also throughout the week. We've had some really interesting discussions and really great questions coming in via Twitter and feedback. So keep connected, keep asking your questions, and we look forward to seeing you at uLearn, whether it is online or face-to-face. Just before we finish, I'd like to hand over to my panel and just see if they've got any final comments or words before we close. Kia ora.
I'll just jump in again, and looking forward to meeting people face-to-face next week at uLearn, and a reminder to revisit the webinar, Getting the Most Out of uLearn, a strategic way before, during and after to make what that learning is happening there, you know, carry on. And so if you're part of, or you're walking past the course stand, come and say hi, and looking forward to connecting again. Kia ora.
Yes, it's sort of a little community of practice thing for me. I don't know if there is a game in education community of practice or more practices forming. I suspect there are. I don't feel a part of them. What I feel can happen for me at uLearn is that if there are, I can join such communities. I can start to meet those communities. And if there are not, then we, those who are interested in this, can get together a bit and start such a community. You know, so that's what I want. I want to come away feeling connected. Yeah.
And from me, again, really excited to meet you all. I've started my packing, I've got my outfits ready, so I'm all ready to just meet people now and start making connections. So if we've worked online together or if we've been to courses together, come and say hello. Don't be afraid to ask questions. So that's my biggest tip for you guys, is to ask, because there's a wealth of knowledge in the room, and if one person doesn't know the answer, then they will know somebody that may be able to help. So do keep asking us questions, and I look forward to meeting you all soon. Kia ora.
Kia ora tātou, everyone. We'll see you at uLearn, either face-to-face or online.
Ka kite anō.